Hello and welcome back to the Note. And we have a note of history for you today. The Nasdaq Composite closed above 5,000. Only the third time it's done that. Both the other 2 days it was closed at this kind of level. We're back in March 2000 at the top of what we now know to have been probably the biggest investment bubble ever. Really quite remarkable that it's got back to that level in as little time as 15 years, and particularly given that today was a day with some really quite disquieting news. First of all, let's show you the ISM Supply Manager data, which comes out on the 1st of every month. This is fixed so that above 50 indicates expansion, below 50 suggests recession, and you can see that the US is declining quite sharply at present, still above 50, but thanks to the strong dollar, the effect of the ports dispute in California, maybe the bad winter, various reasons why people are getting much more nervous about the outlook for US manufacturing. Meanwhile, China, as you can see, is flatlining. They're not providing the kind of positive lead that it did back in the crisis when it led the world economy out of the Great Recession. Meanwhile, very strangely, Greece is improving, and at this point, at least if you believe this survey, Spain appears to be in a healthier situation than the US. Certainly part of why there is so much bullishness about Europe at the moment, but still quite a startling and perhaps disquieting finding. Meanwhile, another disquieting finding comes from China, where, as we can now show you, the Chinese currency is its weakest against the dollar in some 2 years. That's because the People's Bank of China decided to cut rates over the weekend. It needs to do that because the Chinese economy looks as though it needs that kind of a jolt, and possibly also because it could do with some extra competitiveness. You can see that it's steadily been allowed to appreciate against the dollar for a while. Against the Japanese yen, it's lost competitiveness quite dramatically. It's gained more than 40% against the yen over that same period that we're looking at there. If there is a need for competitive devaluation, for a broader currency war, if you want to include that, that's going to include even economies as important as China, that's quite a concerning development, I would say. But it doesn't appear that many other people feel exactly that way about it. Let's just enjoy for the moment the fact that the Nasdaq is back above 5,000.